which I like actually. I like the way those guys evolve because they still are themselves. You can still notice it's Bowie there.
So you seem to have a lot of this dichotomy. You have jazz and classical, which is completely opposing. One is super structured, the other one is be free. Drums and piano.
Yeah.
They seem completely opposite. You rarely
yeah,
see the two.
but actually it turns out they're complementary a lot. I mean, to me, it was like, oh my God, this makes so much sense to play both, and every aspect of each instrument like kind of mix up all together. Right. I mean, it makes sense in my mind at some point.
So now when you record, you play drums as well?
No, I don't play drums anymore, like since, I mean, it's been a while, and last time I played drums. But, you know, like nowadays we all have computers and stuff, but I still have like a little like octapads and stuff with a pedal and stuff, just for doing some percussion. I still have my all my drumsticks and stuff and different percussion toys, well, let's say, and I use that, and I still, but I still think the same way. It's just like it's different.
Oh, wow. And now tell me about what made you switch from, okay, I want to take lessons to I want to be a pro. This is my profession. When did that happen?
I think it was clear since the beginning.
From day one?
Yeah, from when I started piano, maybe a year after.
When you were 7?
So I started at 7, but then I think at 8 I was like, okay, that's it. No, well, you know, there's always an in between, like where you say, I want to be a pilot, you know, and I want to be. I think no, pilot was the thing. Pilot was the thing. And then I said, no, it's fine, piano. So I don't know. Yeah, it came naturally. My mom she's been a ballet dancer, and she told me that she made dance because of the love she has for music. So that was her way to appreciate music. It was through her body and to express herself through dancing. But she did the dancing not because she liked dancing, but because she liked music. That's for the love of music, and she actually worked hard to get there, and so that was like, I don't know, probably, you know, in my mind, it went inside, and I don't know, it's like, you know, being influenced by it's like, okay, love music, what is that? And then I had the notion of sound and I think emotion as well, very early. Yeah, I was listening, like I think my first experiments with you know, trying to catch a song, for instance, that was like with Jean-Michel Jarre, is a French guy. It's actually the son of Maurice Jarre, who is very famous for film music. I think Maurice Jarre is still in the US, and Jean-Michel Jarre is in France. He was one of the pioneers making electronic music, and that's another part of me, like really into that thing very early. My mom bought Oxygen, was the first album of Jean-Michel Jarre. It's like recorded with tons of synths in a 4-track analog tape, and it was like sounding awesome. It was like, what is that? At the time, you know, it was like you have Pink Floyd. You know, I was surrounded by different styles and genres, and like a lot of classical as well because my mom. But this thing went in the middle of nowhere. Like, what is that music? And it was like very ambient, you know, synth kind of stuff.
I just looked it up the other day because I was looking at Pioneers. Remember Oxygen?
Yeah.
Was one.
Yeah.
Because I was looking up what's his name? Not Vangelis, but the other guy, Alan Parsons project.
Alan Parsons project, yeah.
So we're all kind of in that.
Exactly, and there was like,
ethereal,
yes, yeah. So I was into that and I was like, okay, I want to learn more. Who else is doing that? It was like Klaus Schulze in Germany. It was a bit weird though, but it was a bit too repetitive for my mind. And then it was like Alan Parsons project, and then Vangelis as well. And then Tangerine Dreams. And I was like, wow, that's really cool, all these arpeggios and stuff. It was with this very warm analog sound, you know, and it was like, I was so in love with all that. So that was a big part of my and still nowadays I use that as my influence as well. And until I got to Mike Oldfield. Mike Oldfield, guitar player, like English, British guy, or Irish. He's Irish? British, I don't remember. Big career. He did like, created a lot of, he made a lot of songs for other people, but he has his own albums, mostly instrumental, very experimental. And what I liked about him, it was like, it was constant feed. consistent feed. I don't know if you can say that. Is like 8 bars of something, and I was done. Okay, next thing. And it was like his weird way to translate to do transition between his own parts. So you have like a 19 minutes piece of music, but it's like every 18 or 6 bars you have like something else going on with sometimes very harsh transition. But it was like so surprising, and it was like kind of food for me. It's like, you know, like, oh, this is new, I like it, and it's always something new. That's why I didn't like much people like Klaus Schulze on the electronic way, because it was like so repetitive and I was bored. You know, it was like, okay, you said that. You know, same thing. Again, this consciousness of language. You telling me something, but you told me that thing 32 times. It's enough. You know, like, okay, moving on, please. So, and that's what I liked about Michael Field at that time, and it was like very inspirational for me because I'm a great melodist, and he has a particular sound as a guitar player. It is something special in this way to play and the sound he has and everything, and so I was very inspired by all that. So it was a mix of synth stuff, like an experimental, instrumental, very instrumental. I wasn't very into the song market. It was like, when I hear a song, I never listen to the lyrics. I'm listening to what's behind. So I can memorize a song because of some gimmicks rather than the main melody sometimes, or something in the accompaniment or arrangement. That's weird.
No, because there's like you're saying, like when you go see a movie, there's so many ways to look at a movie. You can watch
totally.
You can watch it with cinematography.
Yeah.
You watch it for the music.
Yeah, and
so,
I think all these things are important.
Right. So even within a song, there's so many things that listenable.
Yeah.
Like you sit there and listen for the guitar, you like
right.
vocals, the lyrics, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just like kind of, I think that's we become nerds at this, right?
Yes.
Like,
Yeah,
like,
totally.
awesome.
Exactly. Yeah, you want to go deep, you know,
yeah,
like.
just the hi-hat, just
Right.
the hi-hat of like a Sting
Exactly.
song, you know?
Exactly.
What's he playing, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
So just,
and actually, yes, Stewart Copeland was such a great drummer, and I think Dave Weckl was really inspired by Copeland. I think because they have something similar, and the hi-hat was a good example because the way Copeland plays hi-hats. At some point, I was like listening to some Police stuff, and I was like, "Wow, this is great! I can memorize the." There is like some, you know, things going on. It's like it's not like a typical like big, you know. Right. It's like I was bored very, very easily. Yeah. So everything that was like a bit unconventional and a bit more singing, and I don't know, talks to me.
Cool, understated about it.
Right. Yeah.
But it's still it stood out as it was just, you know, a huge open hi-hat.
Yeah.
So, and that's why, like, I remember Neil Peart was saying when grunge era came around.
Right.
He loved it because people started getting experimental with the drums. It wasn't that straightforward.
Right.
Yeah. So it's like all these, like Alice in Chains has some really cool drum parts and things like that. So talk about your different influences. So you got jazz, classical.
Yeah, and these guys like electronic. I mean, at early age electronic because I'm not into EDM that much. I mean, I listen to something just to keep me, you know, aware of what's going on nowadays. But it's not something that I listen specifically. I use it as a tool. If I need to do a track for that, I'm gonna listen to a couple of DJs and stuff just to see what kind of sounds are, you know, just to match whatever, you know, clients want, whatever. But it's not my forte.
And have you noticed any, because you're from France, right?
Mm-hmm.
Any French influence in your music, especially because now you're in America? Do you see a difference where there's like different approach? Like for me, I'm always pulling from my Indian roots.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the quarter
right.
tone and things like that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Well, I don't know. In France, French composers, maybe Debussy, you know, on the classical way, but that's pretty much it. I'm not really. I think I'm more like a world citizen in the sense of I like a lot of things and I catch everything from anywhere. I'm not like, okay, I'm French, yeah, but I don't have like, you know, maybe Jean-Michel Jarre was the only one at the time, you know, at some point, until some point, because he did shitty stuff afterwards. To my opinion, after the 4th album, it was like something else to me. It was like, no, you don't talk to me the same language that you were talking to me before, so I'm not, you know, that's it. So
which is interesting, talking about like artists who evolve.
Yes,
you know,
exactly.
Like they changed, like Bowie, he completely changed from Ziggy Stardust to you know, modern love and things like that. So
which I like actually. I like the way those guys evolve because they still are themselves. You can't still notice it's Bowie there, but there's a way they evolve and Yeah, I mean, it's just like, like life, we evolve into different ways, and we change countries, and we change jobs, and we change, passions and stuff like that. So I think it's the same, throughout the same lifetime of your musical journey as a composer or musician. It's good to change. It's very good to change.